Okay, I think we're up. Hello, anybody who watches this. This is Fallen Elf and Uno Polak from DotaNoobs.com. Doing a quick replay cast of a couple of league games that happened last night. For those of you who don't know, this is the Dota Noobs League Season 1. Bunch of amateur teams ranging in skill level, just having a good time playing a league over 3.5 months. It was week 2, and we just had 2 games happen last night, so we decided to load them up and stream them, or do a quick cast of them, so we will see what happens. I actually have not watched these games. I do not know the results. It should be pretty interesting. Without further ado, Uno, I'm going to say we hit play in 3, 2, 1, and there we go.
Yep, I'm going.
I love just, how it's a replay cast, and yet we're still just going to wait for people to load in.
There's no better way to synchronize, right?
Yeah.
Come on, Valve.
Come on, Gabe. I know you're gonna watch this later, so please take our advice. Add a skip to function rather than just randomly clicking on the status bar.
Exactly.
Okay, we're gonna hit no broadcaster there just because. It's a little easier. Okay, Sober Pandas played. My team played against these guys last week. They hate the Phantom Lancer. Hate him. He's always their first ban.
Who doesn't hate him?
It's true.
Even if you're playing him, you usually hate him.
Very true. There are very few people who, really don't dislike Phantom Lancer, but it's just always. I don't usually see him as a first ban ever, but against these guys, always first ban.
Well, we're actually playing them tomorrow, so.
Oh, there you go.
Good to know.
Sober Pandas are a bunch of good guys. They joined Dota Noobs a few weeks ago after we met them in a random pub game, and everyone was just super friendly, got along, told them about the site, and they jumped on, and they signed up for the league, right away. They were one of the first teams to sign up, I think.
What? It is. They have their logo and
here it is.
Banners up. So.
You know, Bear Hug likes that logo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's look at picks.
Yeah, the first pick Undying is, it's pretty strong. It kind of signals what they want to do. Probably a strong tri-lane. And then the Chaos Knight Wisp is, if played well,
pretty deadly. I don't think Wisp combos up with a better hero than Chaos Knight, just because the Chaos Bolt is great, but that Reality Rift guarantees the tether stun.
Yeah,
it's
it
really
does.
nice.
The only thing that comes close is the tiny toss, but that's a little less reliable.
A little less reliable, absolutely. We have the Undying Disruptor, lots of team fight control. Again, Sober Pandas is a team who really do like the team fight heroes. They do pick some unconventional heroes when we played them. Disruptor was someone they loved picking, and if I remember, I think it was Deshi Basara who played him, and he does a pretty good job with him. And now they are just going to kind of talk and try to figure out who to play. Should be mentioned, Cookie's Investigation Police is one of the teams that was a drafted team, and what I mean by that is we had a lot of people sign up as individuals, so we mixed them together and made 2 teams out of them. I think they've been practicing together here and there, and I know Sober Pandas, I think they all actually know each other in real life, so they know each other pretty well. The Nyx Assassin pickup, the only hero that might generate more hate than a Phantom Lancer.
I think that's fair.
I think Nyx Assassin, Phantom Lancer, and Coddle.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say Coddle, but he's banned out.
Yeah, the Coddle's banned out, so we're just going to say the Nyx is the asshole of this game. No matter what, he's the asshole. Although, the new Nyx set I need to buy, because I'm just going to play Nyx Assassin just for that badass Nyx set.
You would.
Gyrocopter comes out. Gyrocopter being kind of the flavor of the month in the professional scene for the past 5 to 6 weeks. A lot of people are trying to use him as a counter to Phantom Lancer because that flat cannon can just tear through the illusions.
He's also a fairly good counter against the Undying Tombstone. If you toss on that flat cannon when there's a good set of zombies out there, it really cleans them up because they only take 1 hit ever.
Absolutely. Let me see the Enigma ban out. Don't really see CIP going for the Enigma. It kind of fits in with their lineup because of the Gyrocopter, but Enigma hasn't been that strong of a pick recently. And having the Nyx and the Disruptor being able to stop that black hole unless he gets a BKB, don't really just see him as that strong of a pick.
I'd agree with that.
Void, I think, great ban here with the Disruptor. Just so much team fight control, and letting a Void in there is just gonna devastate.
And it is true, Sober Pandas has yet to have any kind of carry potential, so their mid game is going to be strong, but late game they have absolutely nothing at this stage. Undying really falls off in that late game scenario.
Absolutely. The only Undying is one of those guys who one-on-one might be one of the best laners. He's up there with Batrider. Just a lot of kill potential early on. And in the mid to late game, those squishy supports are still going to hate the Undying, but it's not going to be anywhere near as big as it is in the early game. Disruptor, though, one of those heroes who's useful in the entire game. His skill set is fantastic. Between team fight, glimpse, and his ultimate, he's just a pain in the ass to deal with at all times. And Nyx is just a dick. To say the least. But for sure, CIP has the late game. Sober Pandas should just be looking to ban support heroes, and that's why I didn't really agree with the Enigma ban as well. Just, they have no supports, except for the Wisp, of course, but Wisp is more of a ganking hero than anything. Banning the Silencer, again, not really a ban I agree with.
Yeah, it is a bit odd. I mean, you can run a Silencer as a support, but right now, I mean, if I'm looking at the CIP team, they have a mid, they have a strong dual lane. I'm thinking targeting, off lane. What is that strong solo off lane that they're going to be putting out there?
Right. And
another support from Sober Pandas.
Another so really squishy hero.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And this lineup kind of works. They could send the Nyx or the Disruptor mid. Either works. Get the quick 6 on the Nyx. Personally, I'm a fan of Disruptor mid. Getting up that Static Storm nice and early shuts down a lot of spell-dependent heroes, especially Gyrocopter being a spell-dependent carry. But, I don't agree with the Shadow Shaman.
It does give them a lot of lockdown. It does give them a lot of burst.
It gives them some push.
But it's true, it is a little off.
But now you got to think about who's going to be the carry. CIP, we got plenty of carries. Shadow Shaman is a great support. He was really big this time last year. He was picked almost every game. Very rarely see him in a professional game anymore. Not really sure why that is. There are other heroes that do what he does a little better. And I think the game has just become more ganking oriented than pushing oriented. So that might be why Shadow Shaman fell off. But a Windrunner, strong off laner right there. But against the Nyx, Disruptor, Shadow Shaman, not that strong because of the lockdown they have. Not really sure the Windrunner would be the best pick. I would love to see a Clockwork Goblin instead of that Windrunner.
Now, talking about flavor of the month, that is currently the flavor of the month in the
I love Clockwork. He was a hero when I first started playing Dota. I did not understand him. To me, his point was to jump in and die. His job was to hook in cogs and die, but with the buffs to cogs, with the strength buffs he's been getting, just a really strong hero, and against a Shadow Shaman, a Disruptor, even a Nyx, being able to get in there, hook in cogs and battery assault, that's going to be a kill on any of them. None of Shadow Shaman's abilities are going to really stop that except the Hex, and even then he's so squishy that with the stun he's going to be dead. The Windrunner don't really agree with. Again, her Windrun escape mechanism isn't that great against 3 heroes with disables. And she's super squishy against an Undying.
One thing she does give you is that long-range AoE nuke, so it will help a bit against these towers that the Shadow Shaman pickup looks like. Oh.
Absolutely. And the Viper, again, this is a hero Sober Pandas really like. They really like their Viper.
Okay. Viper is a really strong carry if you have other people who can deal that damage so the Nether Toxin can kick in to give that bonus damage. And they do actually have a lot of extra damage coming from the other teammates, so...
And a Tidehunter. So nice team fight control. I have to say, aside the last 2 picks from Sober Pandas, don't really agree with. The Shadow Shaman and the Viper.
Bit dangerous because the Disruptor AoE silence is not going to help, or will strongly help against that Kraken Shell. The other disables Kraken Shell can shrug off, but the AoE silence can't. So if Disruptor is trying to just lock down that Tidehunter, he actually can do a really good job at doing that.
It's true. It's a fair point. They do have a lot of lockdown for the Tidehunter between the Nyx Stun, Shadow Shaman, Disruptor, Mana Burn, those kinds of abilities. The Tidehunter can be locked down, but what I'm really worried about is we have three relatively, including the Viper up until he gets some tank items, four relatively squishy heroes. If Gyrocopter gets a quick Shadow Blade or a quick Yasha, these are going to be food for flat cannon or rockets. All right, let me do free camera. Okay, why don't you introduce the dire side, Uno?
Alright, so on the dire side we have Drunk Frankie on the Shadow
Uncle
Shaman.
Frank.
Looks like he's going top. Already has taken shackles. We have the Nyx Assassin is playing by 6 skills GG, so we're looking for, you know, early deaths here. Kamikaze Bread is going Viper at mid. And then head and bot we have your friend Alan on the Disruptor, accompanied by Deshi Basara on the Undying. So it looks like it's going to be an offensive tri-lane with the Undying, the Disruptor, and... No, it actually looks now like it's 2-1-2. So Nyx is going top.
Nyx looks like he's going to be heading top. Not necessarily something I agree with, but we'll touch on that in a second. I'm going to introduce the Radiant team. We have Sipkin on the Gyrocopter, Laldor on the CK, Quacky on the Tidehunter, Hypnotoad on the Windrunner, and V on the Wisp. Just kind of sitting in base at the moment, not really doing anything. I want to talk about
making sure they get the right starting items.
There we go. Starting items are good. Stout Shield on the CK, not a bad choice. But I want to talk about the laning for the Dire right now. 6 skills GG and Drunken Frankel on the Nyx and Shadow Shaman. Not that strong of a lane. Nyx does have the highest regen in the game at the moment at 2.5 per second starting out right away. But I think a Viper and Shadow Shaman lane is much stronger up top, and then put that Nyx mid so we can get the quick 6 and have him ganking left all over the map. Much more important than getting a quick 6 on Viper, and that's just me. Putting Viper in the safe lane, let him get some farm, because he is their hard carry here. Nyx getting a lot of farm isn't a bad thing, but he's not going to be able to hard carry this game.
One thing they could be doing is actually looking to put Shadow Shaman doing a lot of pulls in the jungle, so then you're basically getting 3, you know, or at least 2 solo experience lanes with a strong use of the jungle. So that's one thing we could be looking for. It's only going to pay off though is if the already a disconnect. If the dual lane bot of Undying Disruptor can actually go up against the tri-lane from Radiant. If not, well, then that's going to be rough.
Let's look at some starting item builds. On Nyx Assassin, we got a Circlet, Mantle, 6 Tangos, expecting to get harassed a lot. I guess he's going to be going for a Null Talisman with that Circlet, going to be going for the Dagon build. Again, not a build I necessarily agree with off the bat. The 53 base damage isn't terrible, but I'd like to see some GG branches on him. That's always a good thing. Shadow Shaman, pretty standard starting build. Tangos, Clarities, very, very standard. Kamikaze Bread mid. Again, nothing crazy here, just some regen. Clearly not rushing a bottle. Sipkin again, looks like he's going to be going for that Aquila with that Ring of Protection there. And it's strange that the Undying in the bot lane did not decide to go for the extra regen, nor did really the Disruptor, just opting for 3 Clarities, while we have the Nyx in the safe lane opting for 6 Tangos. Drunken Frankel taking a lot of damage from this Windrunner, forcing the Nyx Assassin to use that stun there. Nyx does not have a lot of mana, so each time he uses that, he's got to be absolutely necessary.
One thing to pay attention to is this Tidehunter is trying to do the stack pull, but there's the very well-placed ward here. And you can see Quacky's having a lot of trouble finding it and trying to deward it to get those pulls going.
Really trying. Had to waste another Sentry Ward. He's going to have to walk around to see it. I think he's going to see it in a second here, but we'll find out. The Undying just spamming that Decay. I get the feeling that the Disruptor... Oh! Quacky did not see the ward yet. He's very confused. He's circling around. I'm thinking we're going to see a First Blood here. 2 very squishy heroes on the bot lane.
Well, the Tombstone down is already doing a lot of damage.
Opts to go for the Undying instead of the Disruptor. Very interesting choice. Drops the Tombstone, probably saved him there. But again, a little weird that they did not choose to go on the 568 HP Disruptor versus the 777 HP Undying. He actually had a little more than that because Decay was just wearing off. Just a little bit of a bad choice there by the Tidehunter.
Well, the D-Ward did actually happen now,
and there we go.
They will be able to do that.
Had to burn through two both sentries.
They did actually get rid of the river ward.
Yeah, the ward that was there.
Actually have a ward up watching the river.
The other thing to look at, though, is Tidehunter is out of regen. All he has is a Clarity left. And Tide is not known for his abundance of mana. Lane is pushing quite a bit, so this is working out pretty well for Silver Pandas, the Dire.
And if you look at the last set denies, it does look like Viper is currently outlaning the Gyro mid.
I think that's kind of to be expected. In my mind, Gyrocopter has pretty good base armor at 5, and with that circlet he's at, or with that ring of protection he's at 7. Gonna spam the rocket off. There's not much Viper can do about it. Smart thing to do would be to not move that much, but he had to get out of the creep damage. Sipping does have a lot of kill potential on the Gyrocopter, but I'd say once Viper hits about 5, that kill potential is going to go down a bit. He does have a level advantage as well. Not really sure where that came from. I'm going to take a look top lane and see how things are going. Great Shackle on the Nyx Assassin, but again, not really a huge kill potential there. Nyx opting for the mana burn, but not really using it. Windrunner doesn't have a huge mana pool, so using that mana burn every chance he gets would probably be a good call here. If I was this Nyx, I'd probably rush a bottle in that top lane and just go for top runes, because Viper's not a hero who necessarily needs that mid lane bottle. Looks like Drunken Frankel, Shadow Shaman and Nyx are just kind of sharing farm up there. Same on the bottom lane, 12 for 3 on the Undying and 2 for 1 on the Disruptor. Undying's getting most of the farm, but by no means
is it.
Looks like
Tide actually is going to try and come again. Yep, they are going again on bot.
Okay, I actually think you're a second ahead of me.
Okay.
But they went on the Undying, Disruptor puts up the wall. Oh, very unlucky for the Radiant, or for the Dire, I should say, that CK was out of the wall, but still Undying limps away. This is why Decay is so strong in the early game. He has +8 strength here. He would have been dead without that. Now Disruptor going to get some solo XP as Undying has to walk back to base. Not the quickest movement speed on him, but he does have boots, so. It looks like we got a dive top. First blood goes to the Assassin. Just caught that, so that was lucky. I just caught the very tail end of that kill. Windrunner being very aggressive. Looks like Nyx did pop the mana burn.
Yeah, well, I'm looking back mid, and this Viper is doing a really good job harassing. A really good job getting those denies in. So I think that's where currently that level advantage is coming from.
Absolutely.
He's already hit 6, is halfway through 6, so he's basically has a full level advantage right now.
Yeah, but the farm on mid lane, not great for either hero. At 5 minutes, we got 10 for 1 on the Gyro and 18 for 6 on the Viper. It's not the worst farm in the world, but it's definitely not great. Viper's not really sure what to do here, because he still has all of his regen. Does have a full wand done. Unfortunately, he didn't bring everything out. The key here is going to be runes. If he can get this Gyro to burn through the bottle and start bottle crowing, he's going to really dominate. Got an Invis rune bottom that someone needs to grab. If Viper gets this, they can get a couple of kills bot for sure. Looks like Creepway's pushing because of that pull. Laldor taking a lot of damage. Still 2 tangos up on V, though, so not too worried. And he does have 8 charges on that wand, so not really too much trouble of dying. But still, a dive by Undying and Disruptor could kill him with a good Tombstone Decay. And a great Thunderstrike by Disruptor is going to force CK back quite a bit. Wisp is trying to get him some health.
Apparently you still have the spectator thing up on top right.
Oh, there we go. It's gone.
So we actually have the Undying watching our cast right now, so hopefully we're not going to offend him.
Okay, we got the Gyro rotating bot for a kill on Deshi. He's going to pop the call down right away. Big dive. It's going to pay off for him. They're going to get the kill. If Disruptor had a Thunderstrike, this would be a kill. I think he's still going to chase him. He might still be able to get it. The Viper should be rotating down right now. This is an easy kill for Viper. He's rotating down. I don't know that they're going to get this anymore. It's going to be not a double kill. Yes, it might be a double kill.
It's going to be close.
I think this is going to be a double kill. Oh, no, he's out of mana. This is going to be close.
Looks like the shot's going to get out, and Viper's coming in to clean up now.
And Viper should be able to clean this up. No TP on Sipkin up, so Kamikaze Brett should be able to clean this up fairly easily. Wow! Very ballsy by the Disruptor. Gotta say that was a ballsy play. Probably would have played it a little safer there. Let's take a look at CK's farm. I haven't really looked at that. 19 for 3. Again, not terrible, but not great.
Well, it is third highest, right? So
it is third highest. I do have last hit denies up. Third highest, but the top highest being on the Dire, though. The Nyx Assassin and the... and Nyx is level 6 right now. That's also something to keep in mind. Oh, man, just missed the ward trap. Drunkle Frank. Missed the ward trap. They're going to have to back up here. Rocket's shot on the Nyx Assassin. I'm going to follow this one, see what happens here. Doesn't have any points in that Spike Carapace. Again, not necessarily a choice I agree with.
Coming in, Drunkle
Should take out Drunkle Frank.
Oh, no.
Oh, he just gets away. Great play by the Nyx. Sipkin up really being over aggressive. His skill build, maxing those rockets, and it killed. Oh no, not a kill bot. Sorry. And it looks like the dual lanes are really working out for them. The bot lane, this tri lane, really not paying off for the Radiant. Tidehunter's level 4, Wisp is 5, and CK is 5. We have a sorry, a little tongue-tied. We have a level 5 up on the Disruptor and a level 5 on the Undying. Both were out of lane for a bit, so keeping somewhat closer levels. Should be an easy kill on the Windrunner. Oh, he doesn't have any mana.
Nope, the wind runs off.
And this is why Nyx needs a bottle. He had a bottle there. He could pop that, get that mana burn off, would have killed the Windrunner. Kind of a waste of a Vendetta. And the Shadow Shaman was back. Had the Shadow Shaman been there, he would have been able to get that off. But
he does have enough now. Oh, and Fallen just woke up.
Yes, I was supposed to do this last night, but I fell asleep. I had some friends over, and we drank a bit and ate, and I fell asleep.
The Nyx does have enough for Arcanes, and I actually think going Arcanes Dagon would probably be the right choice.
100% agree. He needs to get those Arcane Boots. Had he had those Arcane Boots, he would have gotten that kill. The Nyx also, as soon as this ulti's off cooldown, he needs to get some mana and start rotating around this map, because, as we said, in the late game, the Radiant will take this late game. Let's take a quick...
Wisp. Thunderstrike is going to take him pretty low here.
I think he'll be fine. He's going to be low, but
again, this combination of the Undying and Disruptor is giving this bot lane a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm. Well, the biggest thing they're doing is deny... Oh, and a great snipe off by Deshi. He might pay for this with his life. I think he's going to. Oh, and a mid... Oh, I think Disruptor's still going to go down, even though the Tide missed. Disruptor dies to Creeps, and I think Deshi's going to go down here as well to that Rocket Barrage. So a double kill for a Wisp, not really worth it. Up until that point, they were winning this tri-lane versus dual lane because they hadn't let any kills happen, but a double kill is going to help that out a bit.
In all fairness, it was because of a timely TP reaction by the Gyro, so...
Absolutely, but the Gyro has been TPing quite a bit, so they should have been expecting this. DD on the Gyro as well. Viper's going to have to be very careful. I don't know if he's going to be able to take him with what he has. Little itch I had a scratch there, so I wasn't really paying attention. TP is right back to the bottom lane. Really don't have a lot of rotations. Kind of a 3 to 4. It doesn't seem it, but it's actually a relatively passive game. Just a lot of lane action. Hypnotoad.
I think the only person that I have seen rotate at this point is the Gyro. He's ganked both top and bot several times now.
Dagon up on the Nyx. Not really sure why he's not rotating around. He used his ulti again. Obviously, he didn't get a kill with it.
Well, they might as well push a tower.
Yeah, they're going to take this tower. And, I mean, this Nyx is 150 away from Arcanes. He really needs those boots. And he has his ulti off cooldown. Again, this is something he should be using right away. Rotate mid, get a kill on this Gyrocopter. He's not very tough to kill, especially with a Viper and a Vendetta. And I think that's what he's going to go do. Nope.
Now, bot. Windrunner's coming in from the side.
4 bot, pops ulti, drops, got Wisp, goes down right away. Nice shackle by the Windrunner. Oh, great wards by Drunkle Frank. I think he was going for the ward trap, but still, great. Thunderstrike off cooldown in 1 second. If he has vision, he should be able to get the CK. CK's just a little faster than Disruptor. Still, Disruptor's going to try and run away from this. He's got the rocket chasing him. His team's going to have to take out this rocket or he's going to go down. Deshi Basara is going to go down. CK goes down. Disruptor goes down. Lots of kills everywhere. Drunkle Frank out of mana. He's going to run into his wards. Very smart play. He needs to shackle somebody in those wards. He needs to get a kill out of it. Gyro is out of mana, but one more Rocket Barrage, and he's going to be able to kill Drunkle Frank. Shackle! Oh! Kamikaze Bread's going to come in and should be able to clean this up, though. Just needs 2 more hits on the... Oh, Rocket Barrage. Such a strong ability. Still, Viper getting a nice kill there. If he had TP'd in a little earlier, he would have been able to get 2 or 3 kills there for himself. Disruptor TP's right back in.
Rotations coming from Gyro, they're really keeping the Radiant into this stage.
Great use of poison. Nyx, what are you going to do? Needs to get that stun off. They should be able to take both of them here. There we go. Double kill for the Dire. But this lets Hypnotoad get some farm up. The Windrunner, 20 for 0, 2 deaths to his name. Not a lot of farm up. All he has is Boots Basilius. Curious to see if he's going to be doing the older build with Phase Boots for Staff, or if he's going to go for some of the newer builds I've been seeing, which are more a support Windrunner, more focused on getting the Basilius, as I just said, and Tranquil Boots. And they're going to, and the Radiant should be able to, or the Dire should be able to take bot tower without a real problem here. Dire's had some nice rotation. One thing I'm looking at, though, I want to look at everybody's items. Number of TP scrolls out on the map right now. There's 1 TP on the CK. There we go. Got one on Kamikaze Bread. And I also want to point out the number of Arcane Boots on the Dire. We have 4 Arcane Boots up.
Well, I think that really just points to what they want to do, is they want to be able to sustain, keep that pressure up.
Absolutely.
So having constant mana regen. Oh, and we have Tide.
Nice pickoff in the jungle. I missed it, but it was probably a nice pickoff. Nyx is level 9.
It was a Vendetta again. So
yes.
He is getting better.
I'm taking a look at hero level. That Tri-Lane from the Radiant just did not pay off there. The 765 on the CK, Tidehunter, and Wisp respectively. That Wisp just needs to hit that level 6, and he's just not there yet. I think he's very close, about halfway. Let's take a look at last hits and denies. Top 2 are of course on the Dire, 48. Oh, I love that new Thunderstrike sound.
And fight mid.
Little small fight mid. Doesn't look like a lot's gonna happen. A little bit of a wasted call down. Drops the Tombstone.
No, they got
and this should be Sipkinops down. And the Ravage, only for 1, only hits the Nyx, and it looks like the Nyx might get away. She's very close. Still no points up in that Spike Carapace, but he gets away on 19 HP. The Undying wants this Tidehunter. He's going to get it. Full team wipe mid. Game is not looking great for the Radiant. 6-16.
No, the Nyx came in and separated. I mean, so basically the Gyro ran in to about 3 of their team, expecting his team to follow up, but Nyx just popped up, and the Radiant team just really focused on him.
Absolutely.
Leaving Sippencock to just kind of go down. So I think that's going to have to go up. If they had ravaged more, I actually think that fight would have turned out the other way. So
I agree. And the unfortunate thing is Gyro does not have much. Treads Bottle Wand at 15 minutes. Right about now you want to see a Yasha start coming out, or even most, if not all, of a Shadow Blade. Gyro really, his strongest ability is of course that flat cannon. Just 6 hits in an AoE.
It's true,
extremely useful.
If you actually look at the skill build here, it's mostly rock.
He went for a heavy ganking build, and he went for a ganking build, and it's just not working.
Well, it does a lot of mute potential early on, so it's not terrible. It just means that he's not going to shift into that carry until later.
It's not terrible if you're getting the kills to back it up. And we got an engagement top. The Undying might go down. He's pretty tanky. Soul Rips, he should go down here, though. Unless his team destroys the rocket.
Ooh,
oh, nice pickoff by the Windrunner, though. But Nyx Assassin picks off the CK in the meantime. Missed that one. That must have been bot lane.
Yeah, farming bot.
We got that Dagon level. When we picked up the Ogre Club, I think he's going to be going for a Sange here. Don't really see the Nyx grabbing a BKB. He doesn't really need it against this team. Except for the Tide.
With the belt, I'd agree. What do you think so Sange into what? Halberd, actually?
I could see a Sange into a Halberd, but also keep in mind that Nyx is agility hero. So Sanj and Yasha, not the worst thing in the world. It's not great, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
I can't believe you're saying this to me.
The movement speed is nice. He would be getting what? 28 damage, attack speed, movement speed, and also health, HP out of it. Granted, the Heaven's Halberd does give 25 damage, so one less, a little more HP, but also the evasion. Not sure which would be the better option, to be honest.
I'm going on strike.
I mean, he has the Dagon level 1. I don't... personally, my favorite Nyx build is to go Dagon. Start maxing your Dagon. Once you hit level 2 or 3, start building into that Eth-Blade, and you can kill anybody up until, 60 minutes into the match. This Windrunner, very far extended. Drunken Frankel just playing hard support here. Looks like he's trying to build an Aghanim Scepter with that point booster. I remember when I first started playing, I would always build a Bloodstone on him. Very useless!
One thing to note is that neither team actually appears to be building the mech. The Undying is going for that pipe, actually is very close to getting that pipe, which is very necessary for pushing into that tier 3 and into the base.
Absolutely.
But no, neither team going for that mech.
And as I said before, Windrunner a little overextended. Drops the Tombstone at the drop of a hat, hoping to slow down this Gyro enough that his team can chase. They do have the tier 1, they can kill him, and they're going to go for him. This should be a very easy pick-off. Nice kinetic field. Call down comes out. Not going to really do much. Call down, he's a very underlevel at this point, so not the strongest ability against this team. And I think they could take tier 2 here.
But the cooldown of it is about the same time as he's dead, so you might as well get some damage out.
I think they have Serpent Wards up. They should be able to take this with very little problem.
That's one thing that Dyer's actually been doing a really good job about. Basically, every time that Serpent Wards are up, they are pushing. Okay,
the Wisp brings in the CK. Not sure if that was the smartest decision. We got a glimpse on the Tidehunter, which goes about 6 feet. And Nyx wants to fight. Sentry Ward's up, though, so they spot him out right away. Needs to pop Vendetta or Carapace, but he's going to try and run away. BKB up on the Viper, didn't even notice that. He's going to try and get some damage on that Tidehunter, even though he already popped his Ravage, so not really the biggest deal. Serpent Wards, nice Serpent Trap on the Gyrocopter. Was able to take out the Disruptor, but Gyro fights his way out of the Ward, still goes down. Buyback from the CK. And I think this is where the Radiant should start backing off, but they're going to push ahead. Deshi really wants that Wisp, now he's going to start backing off. Chaos Bolt goes out. Going to charge right into the Tombstone and into the Serpent Wards. Not a smart move. They should be able to get him. And he goes down. Wisp goes down. Buyback by the CK. So I think they can push tier 3 here.
Yeah, I think they're probably... Oh, no, it does look like they're actually completely
Looks like they're going to back off, and it looks like a Blade Mail is going to be coming up on the Undying, as well as that pipe. He has it almost complete. He has the Chainmail and the Broadsword, or Robe of the Magi. He doesn't have the Broadsword yet.
One item that was used and called out yet was the BKB coming up on the Viper.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't actually have anything to deal with it. Radiant has nothing to deal with that BKB right now. I mean, the physical damage is theoretically there, but...
Well, the Viper, I mean, the CK hits harder, but the CK has no farm. He doesn't even have drums yet at 20 minutes. I think at this point, you kind of abandon the drums. You really got to get an armlet, something up. He has to be able to sustain in these team fights. And the Tidehunter's Ravages just have not been great. Don't mean that in a horrible way at all. Just, he's only been catching one hero with it. We got a fight bot. The Undying's hasted up going on the Tidehunter, and we have Shadow Shaman coming in. The Wisp
coming in.
So this might end up being a bad engagement for Deshi. And he pops the pipe, so the Chaos Bolt does next to no damage. We have Serpent Wards up in a second, so I think they can fight this. If he drops the wards, he might be able to take someone down. They're going to kill off the Wisp pretty quickly. Drops the wards, misses the ward trap, though. Very big that he missed that ward trap. Tidehunter's going to go down. Great play by Drunkle Frank. The CK just chasing into the wards, and the Shackle coming out. Disruptor, you cannot take a Gyrocopter on just yet. And I think Gyro's going to go down to the Rocket. Or Disruptor.
No, I think the Rocket's going to be killed.
Oh, and the Rocket's killed seconds before. Kamikaze Bread. They take out Gyro. Who did they take out? Gyrocopter. I just missed him actually die. And Nyx is pushing top. More than this Sanj, I would have liked to see a Necro book come out of Nyx for that pushing. Just go full push at this point.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Not have to rely on the Shadow Shaman. Necrobook's one of those things you just don't see enough of them. Pops the Vendetta to get away. He's level 13, so he can stay invis for 30 seconds, I believe. 35 seconds, not the full 50 yet. That's level 16. And he can solo this Wisp. He should just go in and pick off the Wisp. Pick off the Wisp, pop Spike Carapace, and run away. I don't think CK could bring him down. Looks like he's going to be building into a Yasha. Not something, again, you see that much on Nyx. And it's going to be the Sange and Yasha. I told you. I told you.
Ugh, disgusted.
So, anybody who's watching this and wondering, Sange and Yasha, if you don't know, it is the meh-ist, is probably the best way to put it. Is the most average item in the game. It gives mediocre stats, mediocre damage, mediocre everything for not a high price, but definitely not a low price. It basically there are other items that do everything it does but better. And Kamikaze Bread looks like he's going to go down here. Great stun by the Nyx. Going to take out the Gyro at the very least. Nyx Assassin pops his Spike Carapace. Might be able, and he's going to get out just fine.
That was actually a Wisp TP, so...
It was a great Wisp TP. Unfortunately, it didn't really work because the Gyro still died. They did take down this Viper. His first death, he was 7-1-8. Still has 2.6k. Not really sure what he's going to be building. Viper's one of those heroes that we don't see very often, so there's not really a set skill build that professionals like to use just because he sees so little play. Personally, I think you can either build him kind of tanky, or you can make him kind of a glass cannon with an MKB. Another thing...
One of the really good items on him is actually Manta Style, because I believe your illusions do get Nether Toxin.
I think they do. Like I said, personally myself, when I play Viper, I like to... we gotta pause so we can talk about this a bit. I like to build a mech on him, is something I've liked recently. Gives a lot of...
Listening to Owie?
I have not. This is something that Gambit and I talked about 6 or 7 months ago, how we thought that mech was because we were seeing a lot of vanguards being built on Viper to tank him up, and he is a ranged hero, so it's not as good. We said mech basically gives him the same thing and that burst heal.
Yep, it's very true. Owie 2000, a professional player for Team Dignitas.
Is he on Dignitas still? There's been so much drama recently.
Yep, still Dignitas. Is very well known for being outspoken on both Rod of Atos, very good item apparently, and also going mech on ranged carries.
And he's absolutely right. We got a G coming out from the Undying, so should be seeing it on pause in a sec. Tidehunter does have Ravage up, but still no damage dealers here. Is the Wisp ulti up? Wisp ulti is up in 30 seconds, so Wisp and CK can't really get down there quick because there's a TP on the CK.
I
think they just have to get back. They can't really contest the tower.
They do have the late game. I'm actually fairly confident that Radiant has the late game if they can turtle it sufficiently.
Absolutely. And Gyro's a great turtling hero. Again, that flat cannon just tears through. They have the flat cannon and they have the power shot.
And that's actually why I completely agree. They need a Necrobook on the Dire team. They need at least one Necrobook. Because, especially against the Gyro and that flat cannon, if you pop those Necro units with that flat cannon, that's a lot of indirect damage you're picking up.
The Dire might want to mine their top tower.
Top's being pushed.
A
lot of free farm top that someone on the Dire should take advantage of.
Dire's top tower.
Oh, we got a mech up on the Disruptor. He must have just purchased it about a minute ago. I didn't see that before.
Yep. We have the Blade Mail finished, but not yet on the Undying. We do have the Ag Scepter up on the Shadow Shaman, so that pushing is even more potent.
I really want the Undying to pick up a HP item. Blade Mail's great, but he does only have 1,000 HP.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, armor is great when you have some HP, but only having 1k HP is not great. I mean, the Shadow Shaman has more than him. Shadow Shaman, haven't looked at his inventory. He does have that Ag Scepter up, which probably explains why his wards are hitting so hard. No, why his wards are hitting so hard.
Oh, that's true.
Lots of sentries up, or 2 sentries up by the Radiant, I should say.
But very well placed. They are looking in those kind of regions where they expect the engagement to occur, so they're going to see that Nyx coming and be able to harass him down.
For sure, we don't even have boots on Wisp yet.
No, we don't.
25 minutes, no boots. this no matter what. He has the money. I just can't agree with that. He's playing hard support. At this point, you got to get other people helping you out. Oh, that shackle just missed. If they had gotten that, that would have been 2 dead heroes. Kamikaze Bread, low on life. And this is why I think he needs the mech. And if you look at his items, look at his build, he has no HP regen. At all.
That is true.
So no matter what, he's going to enter every fight on less than full health.
One pick that, I mean, so we see the score here. It's 11-30. One thing that Dire can get, a heavy ganking team actually should get, is that urn.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And urn is perfect on Viper. It is not a bad item at all. And it looks like that they really do like this. Oh, Shadow Shaman taking some damage. He's going to be looking to build a refresher. Excuse me.
That is one way to push into those tier 3s, I guess.
Drop 2 sets of wards and run away. You'll get the tower. Rocket flying out on Kamikaze Bread. But see, they even popped the mech for him and still not at full HP, and he's going to take some more damage here. They're going to destroy the rocket. They should be able to take it out, no problem. But this is a problem. He needs an HP item, and it looks like he's going to be going for a butterfly.
Yeah, it has to be the butterfly.
Like I said, it's not a bad item, but I'd really like to see some sort of HP item on him. Right now, he's a glass cannon that doesn't hit hard. He's just kind of paper. 1600 HP is nice, 12 armor is nice, but we have the CK who has 1410 armor, and he hits harder than the Viper, and he has no items. Or he hits just as hard, I should say.
Well, there's one way to tank up, and that's go and get the Aegis.
That is one way to tank up. Unfortunately, they don't have the best Roche heroes, to say the least. And I will say this about Sober Pandas. They are a great group of guys, great group of players. This Viper pick, when we played them, threw us for such a loop. We had no idea what to think of it.
Well, it is playing off fairly well for them. He's a fairly strong solo laner, right? I mean, he can do a lot of harass with that Q, but he is extremely susceptible to those early ganks, and that's just not something that we saw the Radiant trying to do.
I just think they weren't worried about him. And Viper's one of those heroes who can surprise you. That Nether Toxin is such a strong ability. He gets a maximum bonus damage of 160 damage. That's so much. Nyx is going to scout ahead looking for a pick-off. And we do have Sentry Wards. They're going to spot him out if he moves forward.
Yeah, that must be said, actually, for Radiant. They're doing a very good job trying to...
And blows the Vendetta right away. He's level 16, so he could have stayed in Viz for a very long time. He does have 2.2k up. You know, with Nyx, when you're level 16, you should be permanently in Viz, running around the map looking for a pick-off. Choosing to get a stun and just get some creeps, not something I really agree with.
It's a really good choice here by Radiant, actually. They know where Dire is.
Trying to push top.
They actually went and pushed top. Well, they're going to get it for free.
That's great. Well, it wasn't free. It was for an Aegis. A tier 1 for an Aegis.
They were actually pushing it after the Aegis.
I missed that.
They were
Disruptor missed the glimpse on Gyro. He was trying to send him back up to tier 2. Disruptor's going to go down here. Great. Well, not a great Ravage. He only caught one.
Still a one-person Ravage.
Great Shackle, though.
Very good Shackle.
Kamikaze Bread's going to pop.
BKB.
BKB, try to run. The thing that he should do, though, is just turn around and hit the tether. He knows what the real one is because it's the one that Wisp is tethered to. Just hit him. And Shadow Shaman's just going to run away. He's going to go down.
And actually, they're not going to have enough support coming in either.
He's going to go down again. Just not tanky enough. Nyx is going to come in and try to clean up. He's going to get the Tide Hunter. Waiting for the Kara. Didn't even get to get the Carapace off.
Well, it's a fairly good exchange for
It was
Radiant.
a great exchange for the Radiant. Drunkle Shadow Shaman just getting out because of the Fog of War, the nighttime vision on CK. Not great. Very unfortunate.
So they do have about 40 seconds or so before the very strong heroes from Dire comes up. What do you think they should be doing?
They need to be farming. If I were the Radiant, I would be stacking these ancient camps for the gyrocopter, using the Tidehunter to tank it up, and just have Gyro melt through them with flat cannon. He does have a Yasha up. He just needs more damage. Yasha in 2200. He's going to be probably looking for that Manta style. I would have all of my supports stacking every camp they could. Flat cannon has, what, a 10-second cooldown?
It's pretty
20.
low. I actually think they might be able to get that tier 1 mid, though.
Tier 1 mid, the tier 1 mid would be great, but I think the better option here is to farm, because they do have creep waves pushing in everywhere except for top lane. I think getting your supports out, stacking camps for you. They need to get some wards out into their own jungle so they can farm there. They just really need the Gyro and the CK to get bigger. I mean, the CK is just now going for his armlet at 30 minutes. Armlet at 30 minutes isn't going to make the impact it does at 15.
No, it will help his illusions, though.
It will help.
Can be said. He does have that level 2 Phantasm, so it's going to make it that much more powerful, but...
But you know, just every hero on the Radiant is underfarmed. But the upside for them is, this is where Viper starts to tail off. He's level 18. He's going for that butterfly. He's going to do damage. He's going to hurt, but you know, get a BKB up on the Chaos Knight after he finishes his armlet very soon. Get a BKB up on the Gyro. It's going to cancel that poison. Going to cancel the Nether Toxin. Not cancel the Nether Toxin. Going to cancel the poison. Going to cancel the ulti. It's going to block all of Disruptor stuff, all of Undying stuff. You know, they're going to be able to get a lot of damage out.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to put too much pressure on one person, but I think the key to this game is these Ravages. Is if they can continue, or if they can get these 3+ person Ravages when they're trying to push up into the base, they will be able to hold this.
They do, by far, have the better team fight. Granted, the Undying and the Disruptor are doing a great job trying to control everyone, and for the most part, they're doing great. But that last fight you just saw, the Dire walked in one after the other, and they all died. What I would love to see here is a smoke gank mid, but I think they're just going to charge in.
Yeah, this is exactly what the
wards are up.
Not need.
Drops the tombstone. Not really anything. Disruptor should be looking for a glimpse. Nyx Assassin's going to take out the Tidehunter, so they lost part of that team fight. Great static storm and kinetic field. This should be all 3 heroes going down. Wisp is going to go down. 4 for nothing. Windrunner's going to Windrunner away, but they should be easily able to push into tier 4 here. Or tier 3. Tier 4, what am I saying?
That was just the case of the Radiant, I think, not quite understanding the situation they were in. They needed to continue to turtle. They needed that perfect engagement, and they just got caught out on the low ground.
We do have a Diffusal Blade up. This is a really interesting Nyx build. He went for, not a carry build, but a very odd build that I haven't seen before. The Diffusal Blade is not a bad choice on Nyx. It does give him agility and intelligence, 2 things he does need. The Sange, I don't think he needed the Yasha. I think just the Sange would have been enough. Sange into Heaven's Halberd for the HP and damage. Because the Yasha didn't get this. Yasha part of this didn't really give him a lot, except for movement speed and a little attack speed, but not a ton. Diffusal Blade is a nice choice just because of that mana burn. But Nyx isn't one of those heroes that attacks fast. Diffusal is generally something you want on illusion-based heroes.
It looks like they're going to try this top.
They're going to want to Ravage here. Hex, though, he might go down before he gets it off! Right before he gets it off. Mech pop by the Disruptor, so Disruptor gets away. This should be the CK going down. Great play. That's 3, and this is going to be another team wipe.
Well, the problem with Viper is if you just let him sit there and right-click you, it's not good.
Yeah. And that BKB it really messed him up, and he does have enough for that butterfly. He's going to purchase that up now.
Well, I mean, the game's over.
The game is over. There is not much that can happen here. And this was game 1 of 2 that were played last night. So we're going to watch and cast game 2 in a second.
That was interesting. I mean, even though they were at a disadvantage, I really felt like Radiant could have turtled that a little bit further. Maybe turn it around, but I think that fight mid just really undid them.
Definitely the fight mid, but from the beginning, their lane setup just was not great. The Gyro mid didn't work. I think putting the CK Wisp mid would have been a stronger mid. They would have been able to kill that Viper all day.
That's a fair point.
You know, send the Gyro bot. It was a dual lane of a Disruptor and an Undying. Not the safest of dual lanes, but the lane was always going to be pushing onto him. Undying's going to go down here. Again,
revenge.
Great Static Storm. And Kinetic Field by the Disruptor. Sober Pandas, they love this Disruptor pick. And they're good at it. They are great. You know, they are all good Disruptor players. Oh, that missed chance on Windrun. But, glimpsed back. Viper's going to go down here.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand. Radiant's mid tower's in trouble.
Well, that is the end, so maybe we should just go ahead and close out.
I want to see. I like seeing the Ancient fall here. You know, the other team stayed in game to watch it fall. We should at least watch it fall.
Fair enough.
Everybody knows that if Tidehunter gets the deny, that they actually win the game, right?
Oh Lord.
Radiant's ancient.
That's not a secret.
I haven't heard it at least.
Oh, all right. Very interesting build from the Nyx Assassin, I have to say.
And no, actually, it was good as Malevolence coming up on Shadow Chomp.
Huh. Interesting.
The second Oblivion Spin recipe were in his stash.
Very interesting game. All right, well, I am going to take a quick break. Be back in a few minutes to cast game number 2.
Yeah, sounds good.
Uno, say goodbye to everybody who's watching this.
Bye.
That was kind of a creepy goodbye.
I know.
He's not going to let his wife hear that. All right, we'll be back in a bit.
You.